Alright, I have accepted all of your assignments. Now, good job with the assignment part. So, in today's session, we will start our Selenium फाइल नॉट फाउंड एक्सेप्शन, फाइल नहीं है बोल के बोल रहा है. देख, इसके बाद 2 बैकवर्ड स्लैश लगा फाइल रीड के बाद. हाँ, अब आएगा, देख अब. ऊपर जा, देख यहाँ पे फाइल नेम दिया है, यहाँ पे फाइल पाथ दिया है तुमने. So, I will be putting all of these, okay, we'll look into that later. Now, I'll create a separate package called as Selenium package for you here. I'll create a separate package inside src test where I will be putting all my Selenium programs inside this particular package, okay, inside src test Java. So I'll create a sample class first for Selenium. So what is Selenium? Selenium is your browser-based automation tool. Whatever that you want to automate with your browser, okay, all of that can be automated with the help of your Selenium by writing some Selenium and Java code. And I've also told you to understand the tags, attributes and values for any web page. I have shown you how to identify tags, attributes and values. So I hope you guys have paid attention to that, and I hope you guys have taken a look into that thing a couple of days earlier. Now, the problem with Selenium is your JDK does not support Selenium. The JDK that you have installed on your machine, the project that you have right now does not support Selenium. Even if you write any Selenium related code, it will not be supported by your project, because the JDK that you have installed will contain only bare minimum support for your core Java. That's it. There will not be any support for Excel file manipulation or Selenium or data science or machine learning, or for that matter even take TestNG or Cucumber also. Your JDK contains only bare minimum functionality. So if you want to use any of these things, maybe Selenium or TestNG or Cucumber or data science or any of these things, or even Excel file manipulation, you will have to download the relevant classes from the internet, because those classes are not inbuilt in your JDK. Now think of your JDK like your Tata Sky subscription. When you get Tata Sky subscription, the Tata Sky subscription comes with only standard set of channels. If you want any additional channels, you will have to pay for those additional channels and get those additional channels as extra subscription, extra money. Think of your JDK also as the same way. JDK comes with only classic basic functionality, that's it. It does not have the capability to support Selenium or TestNG or Excel file manipulation or even Cucumber or data science or any of these things. You will have to add those classes, those packages to your project. Until you add those classes and those packages to your project will not understand any of the Selenium code that you write. Even if you write any Selenium code, your project will not be in a position to understand it, because there are no supporting classes in your project. Even if you write the import statement properly, even if you write the code properly, your project will not execute that code, because those classes are not present in your project. Now let's say I want to execute this scanner program. Okay, I'll execute this scanner program. The scanner program will execute because you have an import statement here, and this is an inbuilt class in your JDK. This comes along with your JDK. The scanner class comes along with your JDK. So obviously this will work if you write a import statement properly. Okay. Similarly, even your collections also. If you want to use an array list, you can use it because it is inbuilt in your JDK. There is no problem. It comes along with your JDK. This array list class comes along with your JDK, your standard Java library. So obviously, if you write the import statement properly, it will work. There is no problem with that. But when it comes to your Selenium, even if you write the import statements, even if you write the code, everything correctly also, it will not work because those classes, those packages, those sub-packages are not present in your JDK. So obviously when you are executing the code, the compiler will not understand what are these classes, what are these packages. So then how are you downloading, how are you going to download those classes or those packages? Using your pom.xml file. Your pom.xml file is the indication that your project is a Maven project. Now Maven is a tool which manages all of these kind of dependencies in your project. You want to have Selenium in your project. Include the Selenium details in Maven in your pom.xml, automatically your project will start supporting Selenium. You want testng for your project. Include the testng details in your pom.xml file, automatically your project will start supporting testng. So pom.xml is your project management tool. Maven is your project management tool which will manage all these kind of dependencies. Okay, Selenium, testng, Cucumber, or API automation, database automation, these are not something that will be present in your JDK. Those do not come along with your JDK. You will have to download them as add-ons, extras. You will have to download them. No, you can't manually download those things. You will have to give those details to pom.xml file. You will have to type those details here, and pom.xml file will automatically download it for you. It will take care of the downloading part. You don't have to worry. वो देख लेगा सब कुछ. pom.xml will take care of everything on your behalf. It will only download those files. It will only put the files in the relevant path also. So in real time, you don't have to touch this pom.xml file. All of this will be already managed at the start of your project only. Your developers, your DevOps engineers, your project lead, all of them are going to take care of this particular pom.xml file. Ideally, this should not be disturbed in real time. But for now, open your dummy projects, everyone. Because you'll have to do the same thing even in your dummy project as well. Even your dummy project requires Selenium support, without which you cannot practice Selenium. So whatever that I tell you now, okay, you can do the same thing even on your dummy project. Once I push the code, you can do it on your dummy project as well. So how to download these files? Simple. You have something called as Maven dependency like this. If you search on the internet Maven dependency, you will get this Maven dependencies, and you can select any appropriate Selenium version. And if you simply copy paste this code to your pom.xml file, okay, if you simply copy paste this file to your pom.xml file, after copy pasting, right click and say Maven reload project. Right click and say Maven reload project. Automatically your project will now start supporting Selenium. I'll tell you, I'll send this file to you, you can copy paste, don't worry. Automatically, if you observe, Selenium will start downloading all those classes from the internet, and your project now supports Selenium. It is automatically downloading everything from the internet all by itself. You don't have to do anything. You just have to copy paste this code. Now in real time, you don't have to remember this code. Okay, your project manager, your project lead, your DevOps team, they will take care of this. You should not be touching your pom.xml file in real time. Okay, this is an add-on to your project. Your project by definition, by default, does not support Selenium. You are adding these as an external support, an external dependency to your project. Now, if I start writing my code, let's say I want to open my Chrome browser. I want to open a Chrome browser automatically on my screen. I'll have to write this code like this. Chrome driver, you call it as driver. This is not your browser. Your browser is where you do your normal internet browsing. Your driver is where you automate your test cases. Your driver and browser look similar. The difference between your browser and driver is browser is used for your personal activities. You want to open a browser, you will go to any website, you log in, you will type, you will click, you will select, you will upload something. Your browser is for these kind of your personal activities. Your browser cannot be automated. Your driver can be automated. You will use your driver to automatically open it, to go to any website of your choice, to type anything all by itself, to click anything. For automation purpose, you will use driver. For your personal activities, you will use browser. So the same thing, both of them will look pretty same, but for automation you are going to use driver. So if you write the code like this is going to open a new Chrome driver on your screen. Previously, without the pom.xml file update, abhi dekho, I am removing this pom.xml file details. Okay. Now automatically see, I am getting an error. Even though the import statement is correct, even though the code is correct, this code is not going to execute because my project does not recognize what this is all about. What is Selenium? It does not understand. Even though I write the import statement properly, even though I write the code properly, it will not work because these classes are not something that will be coming along with your JDK installation. The JDK to paadu ravu. Imagine when you get Tata Sky installed in your home, it will not have all the channels. You will have to pay some additional money and get those channels subscription on your Tata Sky. Think of the same thing here also. Selenium is not something that will be available along with your JDK. You will have to download Selenium from the internet. Downloading Selenium means you're not downloading any software. You're downloading all the packages and classes related to Selenium. And what are you doing here? What does this code represent? At line number 8, what is this code doing here? What is the standard Java code concept that is being applied here? You are creating an object for what? Chrome driver class. Now this Chrome driver class is not something that is present in your JDK. This does not come along with your JDK. This is not present in your JDK. So that is why your project does not support Selenium. So for your project to support Selenium, you will have to update the dependencies like this. Now you don't have to worry about it in real time. Your manager lead are going to take care of this. So you will have to update the dependencies now, and after updating the dependencies, you will have to right click Maven reload project. Automatically this is going to download everything from the internet. All the relevant classes will be downloaded, and see, now it will work as usual normally. It will work normally now. That means Maven is the tool that is downloading all the classes, all the packages from the internet automatically, and it will take care of this project management. I mean downloading all the relevant classes, putting everything in place, and making sure your Selenium is supported in your project. Maven takes care of all of that through pom.xml file. Maven is the software and pom.xml is the file which will be used by Maven to manage all of these dependencies in your project. Maven, if it is not installed on your machine, if Maven is not present on your machine, pom.xml file will not work. It will not be downloading anything from the internet. Think of it as your download manager. It will download everything from the internet related to whatever that you give here. Nu edi istha download chestadi. Now if I give details for TestNG, it will download a TestNG from the internet. If I give details for Cucumber, it will download Cucumber from the internet. If I give details for Rest Assured, it will download Rest Assured classes from the internet. It will download everything from the internet automatically. You just have to say what to download in this XML file. It will automatically download all the classes from the internet and make sure that they are supported in your project. So what you guys are going to do is, so from this line to this line, copy everything in your dummy project and make sure it is working all right. Okay, I have pushed the code. take a pull, go to your pom.xml file. Everything that has mentioned here, copy from this line till this line. Copy everything to your dummy project as usual, exactly in the same fashion. అర్థం కాలే. అవసరం లేదు, డమ్మీ ప్రాజెక్ట్లో కాపీ చేసుకో. ఇవి మేమే ఎన్ఐటి ప్రాజెక్ట్ ఎట్లయినా పుష్ చేసేసినా కదా నేను. ఐ ఆల్రెడీ పుష్ దిస్ టు యువర్ ఎన్ఐటి ప్రాజెక్ట్. యూ డోంట్ హ్యావ్ టు వరీ అబౌట్ యువర్ ఎన్ఐటి ప్రాజెక్ట్. టేక్ అ పుల్ and from the pull in the pom.xml file, whatever I have given here from this line to this line, copy paste in your dummy project so that your dummy project also supports Selenium. You will have to practice Selenium also kada. Aina updated. Did you update it? After you update your dummy project pom.xml file, right click inside the pom.xml file. Maven, either you get reload project or you get sync project, whichever it may be. pom.xml फाइल में देखने को बोला था मैंने. Done everyone? Aina? Downloaded? Did you reload or sync project? Some of you will have reload, some of you will have sync. Whatever it may be. ప్రాజెక్ట్ అట్లా క్రియేట్ చేసుకోలేదు దీన్ని. నువ్వు ప్రాజెక్ట్ తప్పు క్రియేట్ చేసినావు. ఇది పెట్టి క్రియేట్ చేయాలి ప్రాజెక్ట్. కొత్త ప్రాజెక్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేసుకొని కొత్త ప్రాజెక్ట్లో పెట్టుకో. No, this is not how it will look like. You should not be creating your own pom.xml file. तुम अपना खुद का pom.xml file नहीं create करना. The pom.xml file should always obviously be already be visible. You should not create your own pom.xml file. No, that's not how it works. So if you are not able to see the pom.xml file, the only meaning you have, the only meaning for it is you did not create the project properly. At the time of creating the project, you did not pay attention. अभी प्रोजेक्ट क्रिएट करते समय I told you to select Maven. You did not select Maven. You put it on IntelliJ only and you created the project. That is why you are not seeing pom.xml file. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि तुम अपना खुद का Maven pom.xml file create करोगे. It will not be supported in your project. When you are creating a project, I told you to select Maven. You did not select Maven at the time of creating the project. That is why you are not seeing the pom.xml file. If you had selected Maven, obviously pom.xml file will be visible to you. So this is for those people who are not able to see pom.xml in their dummy projects. So you'll have to create a brand new project and inside that select Maven and then do all of this. So now I believe you guys have copy pasted everything. Okay, copy pasted everything and I hope it is working normally now. Now what should we do next? Since the automation will be happening on our Chrome driver, we need to download a driver from the internet. We also need to download a driver from the internet. And where is that driver present? First, before you download the driver, verify the version of your browser. Whatever is the version of the browser, browser का version क्या है check कर लो. First check your browser version. Whatever is your browser version, the driver version also should be identical. So you open your Chrome browser. We will be doing our automation majority of the times on Chrome only. So open your Chrome browser. In your Chrome browser, at the right side top there will be 3 dots. If you click on those 3 dots, you will get this option: help and about Google Chrome. Click on those 3 dots in your Chrome browser at the right side top. Go to the bottom, you will see help and about Google Chrome. Click on that about Google Chrome. You will get to know whatever is the version of your Google Chrome. Whatever may be the version of Google Chrome that you have. If it is updating, let it update. If it is updating, let it update. For me, the version is 138 and it is updating currently. If it is updating, let it update. Don't worry about the updating process. अपडेट हो रहा है तो होने दो. लेट इट अपडेट. लेट इट अपडेट. डोंट वरी. अपडेट हो रहा है तो होने दो. लीव इट एज इट इज. By the time it is updated, we will cover one concept. So if you are getting like this updating Chrome, let it be. छोड़ दो वहाँ पे. Leave it as it is there. Okay? We will learn some other concept by the time it is downloading. Okay? Now, before we learn the rest of the topics, before we learn Selenium, let's cover the rest of the topics in Java. By the time it is downloading, it will only automatically install also. So if the downloading is over, you will get something like this: relaunch Chrome to finish updating. Click on relaunch, but those who are joining the Zoom session from your browser, you will be disconnected from the session temporarily. Those who are joining the session from Zoom browser, you will be disconnected from the session temporarily. So keep this in mind, everyone. Okay? Chalo. If it is downloading for you, if it is updating for you, let it update. Hone do. It is going to take a couple of minutes for you. Do not worry about it. Let us learn about something else in the meantime. Let us learn about exceptions. Let's learn about exception. Now, what is an exception in Java? Exception occurs, or when an exception occurs, the program's execution will be stopped and the flow, or let's say when an exception occurs, the program's execution will be stopped and it will not reach the end of the execution. And what are the reasons for this exception? It can be related to code, it can be due to anything. So when an exception occurs, let's say you are writing a 1000-line program, you got an exception at line number 400. That's it. That's where the program will stop. Rest of the 600 lines will not execute in your program. Unless you fix the exception, it will not execute the rest of the code. So, how does an exception occur? What are the reasons for an exception? Let me show you a small example here. First, let's take an integer I is equal to 5. Let me write some print statements here. Hi, this is one print statement. Next, 0 divided by I. What is the answer for 0 divided by I? 0 by 5. 0 by 5 answer is, what is the answer for 0 by 5?
0.
0. Okay. Then 5 by 0?
Infinite.
What is the answer for 5 by 0? Huh? Gattiyapala, what is the answer for anything by 0? Undefined. Inka? Infinite. Anyone? Everaina infinite? So out of these 4 print statements, the first 2 print statements will execute normally. 0 by 5 is 0, not a problem. But I by 0 or anything by 0 is undefined. You cannot divide by 0. So it is not infinite, it is undefined. Okay? Anything divided by 0 is not infinite. If that's the case, divide your bank balance by 0. You will get the answer. Divide your bank balance by 0 and you will get the answer, whatever it may be. Okay? So anything divided by 0 is always undefined. You cannot divide by 0 basically. So in these kind of situations, observe the execution. Observe the execution in this case. Out of the 4 print statements, if you observe, hi and 0 got printed, but your hello world did not get printed. Why? Because your hello world is at line number 7 and at line number 6 there was an exception. So as I mentioned, when an exception occurs, the program's execution will be stopped and it will not reach the end of the execution. So the execution should have completed at line number 9, but at line number 6 there was an exception. Why? Because you are dividing by 0. If you divide by 0, the compiler cannot give you any answer. There is no answer for a division by 0. So the code is incorrect. Due to your incorrect code, you are not able to reach the end of the program's execution. Agar division by 0 itself is not possible, then how do you expect the compiler to give you an answer? There is no answer for a division by 0. So obviously, this is a code that cannot be executed. So obviously, this is an exception. So that is why the program's execution stopped at line number 6, and that is why you got an exception. And at line number 6, due to this, it did not reach the end of the program. That is why the print statement at line number 7 did not execute. This is what is an exception is. The exception can be due to your code or due to some runtime issue also sometimes. Yesterday, we have also seen one exception in your tree set. In your tree set, we have seen some exception. When you are trying to add a null element, you are getting null pointer exception. So, this is also a problem with your code. If you write your code incorrectly, this will cause some exceptions and your program will not be able to move forward. Exceptions will stop the execution of the program at the line where they face an exception. So, it will not move forward from there onwards. So, you need to handle that exception. Handling that exception does not mean that the division by 0 is going to be some answer. Handling by exception is nothing but simply suppressing it and making sure it does not stop the execution. Exception handling does not mean out of nowhere division by 0 का answer आ जाएगा. No. Division by 0 is not valid. But if you are still doing division by 0 in your program, it will give an exception. So if there is an exception in your program, the program will stop your execution midway at the line where there is an exception. So in order not to stop the execution, in order to reach till the end of the program, you need to handle that exception. How? Using something called as try and catch. Using try and using catch. Try and catch are used for handling your exceptions. Now, just because you are handling your exception does not mean that division by 0 is valid. Does not mean that you will get any answer for division by 0. Exception handling does not mean something wrong becomes right. No. Exception handling simply means that you are suppressing it. उसको छुपाइटने के लिए बोल लो. दानी silent గా ఉండమని చెప్తున్నారు మీరు. Do not disturb my flow. Sit silently. That is what you are saying here. Exception handling. That is what you are doing to your division by 0 there. All of a sudden, if you divide by 0, Java is not going to give you some answer. No. Java is simply suppressing it. Java is simply telling that code, this division by 0, this line number 12, that bus, do not make any noise, sit silent, do not stop my execution. That is what it is telling the code. That is what try catch block are going to do. Because occasionally, now you can think, अरे ऐसा code नहीं लिखे तो हो जाएगा ना. If we don't write this kind of code, problem solved. Correct. If you don't write this kind of code, problem is solved. I am not denying it. But sometimes your code, maybe in Selenium or maybe some other code, dynamically will throw some exception. This is a code related issue. This is a logic related issue. You are writing incorrect logic. That is why you are getting this exception. If you correct this logic, you will not get this exception. But sometimes the code will be correct. But still, you will have to handle that exception. The program thinks that there might be an exception, even if your code is correct. So in that case also you need to handle these exceptions. So that is why exception handling does not give you any answer out of nowhere. Exception handling is simply suppressing the exceptions. It is simply telling it silent pe raho. It is muting it simply. If you mute a conversation on WhatsApp, what will happen? You will not get any notifications, you will not have any disturbance. Simply it is doing the same thing here. So what should we write in try block? Try block lame rayale. Try block lo you should write anything that might be causing this exception. So in this entire program, which line is causing the exception? Line number 12 is causing the exception. So put that line number 12 under try block. Try block contains all that problematic piece of code which might be causing an exception, which you think is causing exception. जो तुमको लग रहा है problem create करेगा. You might think that this line of code will create a problem for me moving forward. So those kind of code snippets will be put under try block. They may create an exception, they may not create an exception. Try block is like that. क्या बोलते हैं उसको? It's like an experimental block. It will execute whatever is present inside the try block. If at all there is an exception, catch block is going to handle that exception. Catch block will simply say system.out.println E. So try block is for experimenting with that piece of code. इसको ठोकेंगे तो क्या होगा? If we execute this code, what will happen? If we execute that division by 0, what might happen? That is what the try block is. Try block is simply trying the execution of that problematic piece of code. If at all that piece of code is giving any exception, catch block will manage that exception. Catch block will suppress that exception. That's how it is. And you will see in your news, people are doing some dharna. there will be some police personnel who will be handling that people in the dharna చేస్తుంటారు రోడ్ మీద. They will protest, they will be doing some protests on the road against the government. The police people will be handling all those protests. Think of the catch block like this. Try block is where you are doing some experiment with the code. It might throw an exception, it might not throw an exception. What you anticipate, अच्छा इसके साथ मेरे को प्रॉब्लम होगा, దీంతో నాకు ప్రాబ్లం అయ్యే ఛాన్స్ ఉంది నాకు, with this kind of code I might face a problem, so I will put that kind of code under the try block. If at all it really causes a problem, catch block will handle it. If it does not really cause any problem, catch block will not trigger. Straightforward. So if I put a breakpoint here at line number 3, right click and I'll run it in debug mode. Observe what is going to happen. I'll do a step over here. Plus step over here, sir. It will go to line number 4, line number 5. It will go inside the try block. It will do division by 0. Division by 0 is incorrect. Division by 0 is obviously going to give you arithmetic exception. So obviously, immediately catch block will trigger. Catch block will handle that exception. It will suppress the exception. It will handle the protest just like your police personnel handle it. And if you click on step over, it will continue the execution of the program, and you got hello world also printed to the console. Previously, hello world was not displayed because the exception was stopping the flow of the execution. Exception was disturbing the execution. So now, since you have handled it with try catch, that exception is suppressed. Everything is working normal. ఇప్పుడు సీఎం కాన్వాయ్ అవుతుంది రోడ్ మీద. సీఎం is coming to the assembly, legislative assembly. సీఎం అసెంబ్లీకి వస్తుంటాడు, or సీఎం is going on the tour. Chief Minister Revanth Reddy is going on a tour. What will TRS or what will BJP do? They will do some protest. What will the police do? Police will stop that protest. CM will automatically continue with his convoy, his journey. Think of the same thing happening here also. Here, I by 0 is disturbing the flow of your execution. Division by 0 is incorrect. It is stopping the execution. So, try catch block are like your police personnel here. They will be suppressing it. Apesaru. The try catch block will be suppressing the exception, and make sure the rest of the program will execute as usually, normally, without any disturbance. So, not always try catch block might throw an exception. You are anticipating that there might be some exception. Agar kuch gadbad hoga, if at all there is an exception, try catch block will handle it. If there is no exception, try will execute. After executing try, abhi dekho, I will do I by 5. I by 5 usually is not an exception. I by 5 is normal. It will execute normally. If I execute in debug mode, see, I is 5 and I am doing I by 5. See try block. Try block is executing. I by 5 is valid piece of code, invalid piece of code. It's valid. There is no problem with this code. 5 by 5 is correct code only. So there will not be an exception. That is why catch block will not be triggered now. See, directly it is reaching the end of the catch block without executing the catch block, since there was no exception in the code at all. Atla. Try catch block are used for handling your exception, anticipating that there might be some exception. That's what your try catch block will do. Okay? Now, let me show you one more example here. So, when you get an exception here, what kind of exception are you getting? ఏ రకమైన exception వస్తుంది ఇక్కడ నీకు? What exception are you getting here? What is the name of the exception? Arithmetic exception. Every exception has a name. प्रति exception को का name उठा दे. हर exception का एक नाम रहता है. You need to handle that exception according to the name. So, you are doing division by 0 and you are getting arithmetic exception. So, you are telling, okay? So, you are telling try block to execute I by 0 and you are telling catch block, okay, if I execute try block, I might get an arithmetic exception. Suppress this arithmetic exception. That is what you are doing here. You are telling the exact exception name. చెప్తున్నావు నువ్వు exact exception పేరు. You are informing your compiler what kind of exception you might face, and it will handle that exception accordingly. Okay? So, that exception will be handled and you will reach the end of the program as usual like this. But, what if I will create an array like this? Int a is equal to 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 or 0. Okay? What is the length of this array? 5. Now what I will do is, I will say I by 5. This will execute normally, but this time I will say system.out.println a of 5. Will this execute a of 5 is correct or incorrect? Incorrect. What will this give you? Array index out of bounds exception. Okay? Now, do you think this exception will be handled here? No. Why? No. You are telling your catch block to say handle arithmetic exception. If at all you get any arithmetic exception, handle kar le usko. But are you going to get arithmetic exception in this case? I by 5 will not give you any arithmetic exception, but a of 5 is going to give you array index out of bounds exception. मतलब तुम्हारा बुखार कुछ और है, treatment कुछ और है. And you got cold and cough, but you are using headache tablet, which is wrong. You are getting array index out of bounds exception in this case, but you are handling arithmetic exception. That is wrong. You are handling the exception. You are not denying it. Exception को handle कर रहे हो. You are handling the exception, not a problem. Try catch. But you are not handling the correct exception here. Previously it used to handle arithmetic exception. सही है, ठीक है. But now you are no longer getting arithmetic exception. You are getting array index out of bounds exception. If I execute in debug mode, observe what is going to happen. Step over. It will go inside the array. It will go inside the try block. So I by 5 is valid. No problem with I by 5. But if I go here, I am immediately getting a of 5. There are only 5 elements in the array. So a of 5 is not possible. So I am immediately getting array index out of bounds exception. So my catch block should handle exactly that exception only. But my catch block is handling what exception? Arithmetic exception. So in this case, my catch block will not trigger. And did my program execute till the end? Did I get my hello world printed? Hello world is the last print statement in the code. Did I get hello world inside the output? No. Although you are handling your exception, this is not the right way of handling it, because you are no longer getting arithmetic exception. You are getting array index out of bounds exception. So you need to make sure that you are writing one more catch block here. You can write as many catch blocks as you want. Okay? Now your try block, once it is executed, if it throws arithmetic exception will be handled. If at all it throws array index out of bounds exception, array index out of bounds exception will be handled. But अभी देखो, observe, since the since the first catch block is not working, the first catch block is for arithmetic exception. It will not handle the exception. It is going to the second catch block. The exception is handled and you are reaching the end of the program. Okay, very good. But how many exception names are you going to remember like this? कितने exception का नाम याद रखोगे? How many exceptions can you remember? It is not possible for you to remember all the exception names. Very difficult. So in that case, what shall we do? Simple. Rather than mentioning a particular exception name, it is always better that you simply put a generic exception like this. Because every exception belongs to the class exception only. Under exception class, okay? Under the exception class, all of these exceptions will come. So under exception, you will have exception is like a class, exception is like the parent, and arithmetic exception, array index out of bounds exception, null pointer exception, all of these are its child. So rather than mentioning an exact exception name, you can simply put as exception, because what happens is, if you don't put the exact exception name, you are handling a different exception and your code will fail. Either you remember the exact exception name or put a generic exception, because if you put incorrect exception, catch block will not work. You are having cold and cough, but you are using a headache tablet. Both of them are incorrect, not compatible. Either your cold and cough will get reduced, nor you don't have headache. So that is why when you are writing try catch block, write one try, write one catch, enough. You don't have to write multiple catches. कितने catch लगाओगे? How many catches are you going to write? rather than writing multiple catches, write only one catch and put exception E. Now this is a very generic exception. All the different kinds of exception will come under the exception only. You can call it arithmetic exception, that comes under exception class. You call it array index out of bounds exception, that will also come under exception only. You call it as file not found exception, that is also exception only. You call it null pointer exception, that is also exception only. So that is why rather than writing the exact exception name which you don't know or which you can't remember, put it under a generic exception. So any exception can be handled with your try catch block. Now try catch block execution does not mean all of a sudden A of 5 is the sixth element. All of a sudden it will give you the sixth element. No. Length ekkadiki chestadi neeku. If it is not there, where will it bring the sixth element from? It will not give you the answer for A of 5. It is just that it is suppressing. That's it. It is suppressing and making sure it does not cause any disturbance for the execution. That's it. Just because you are doing try catch, it does not mean अभी मेरा array का length ही 5 elements है. There are only 5 elements. That means maximum index will be 4. If I write A of 5, does not mean automatically it will give a sixth element for me. No, length edikal istadi. If it is not there, where will it give you the sixth element from? Or even if you do division by 0, agar division by 0 itself is not possible, try catch should not give you any answer for division by 0. There is no way try catch will give you any answer for division by 0. It's just that try catch will suppress and make sure it does not cause any disturbance during the execution time. It will suppress the exception. Okay, best example as I have given you. Your CM is going on his convoy. Okay, the opposition party is trying to disturb the convoy. What will the police personnel do? They will stop them from doing any disturbance, any nuisance. If any film star is coming or any celebrity is coming, it will have a security. Why? So that common people do not cause any disturbance to that celebrity. Think of your try catch block also doing the same thing. Try catch block are like your bouncers. Okay, they'll make sure that no disturbance is caused during the execution and the execution goes smoothly as expected. That's what it is all about. Okay, this is why you will use your try catch block. Understood the try catch exception handling? You have more details coming up in exception handling, but this is the most basic exception handling that you are doing here. Because say, upcoming sessions you will get more details about exception handling. But now, did you understand exception handling? Or any confusion? Or any doubts? Or anything that you did not understand? Okay, you have modified something. Looks like you have modified something. Either you can run the commands that are suggested to you in the screenshot, or it would be better for you to not do anything as such. Create a fresh branch from remote main and do your work better. All okay or any confusion? Okay. Now by this time your Chrome browser might have updated. So if you are getting this relaunch button, click on relaunch. If you are getting everything up to date, let it be as it is. Click on this relaunch button, but make sure that the people who are joining from Zoom, okay, you have everything backed up, because you will be exiting the Zoom session if you are joining from the Zoom browser. Okay, click on relaunch. So you should get something like this: Chrome is up to date. This is what you should be getting, and version 138. Okay, if this is what you are getting, now go back to, in your Chrome browser only, search for Chrome driver download. Search for Chrome driver download in your browser. Download the driver manually from the internet. Make sure here that your driver version and browser version are identical. And you don't have to match every single thing like this. ये पूरा देखने का जरूरत नहीं. You don't have to match even these also. At least if it is 138, this also should be 138. Okay, if your browser version is 138, your driver should also be 138. You don't have to match every single digit inside this version number. Okay, after searching for Chrome driver download, click on this thing, first search result. Now after this, hold on a minute, I'll tell you which link to click on. See, in the warning, you will have a warning message like this: warning, if you are using Chrome version 115 or newer, Chrome for testing availability dashboard, click on this link. You should get like this. If you click on it, you will get a screen like this. ऐसा आएगा, Chrome for testing availability. Red color warning में you will have this Chrome for testing availability dashboard like this. If you click on it, a green color screen will come up like this. Ochina? So the stable version, check the stable version. Check the stable version. Click on the stable version. Click on the stable version. Okay, if you click on the stable version, go to the bottom, scroll slowly down, and you will see Chrome driver Win64. If yours is Linux or Mac, download accordingly. This is for Windows users. So Chrome driver Win64, you will be seeing an option like this. So copy this link. ये link copy कर लो. Copy this link, open it freshly in a new tab. Automatically a zip file will be downloaded. You don't have to do anything. Automatically a zip file will be downloaded if you copy paste that link. MB, 9 or 10 MB file. Copy paste that link and open in a new tab. If you open in a new tab, it will not open any website, rather it will directly download the zip file for you. వచ్చిందా? 9 MB आएगा. ठीक से चेक करो, क्रोम Win64 करे कि क्रोम ड्राइवर Win64 करे. It should be Chrome driver Win64, not Chrome Win64. You should do Chrome driver Win64. It will be a 9 MB 9.2 MB file. That's it. 164 MB आ रहा बोले तो you have clicked on a different link for download. Chrome driver Win64 पे click करना, not Chrome Win64. Did you download? So if you have downloaded it, okay, in your downloads folder you will see a zip file for 9.2 MB. You will see a file, zip file. In your downloads folder you will see a zip file. 9.2 MB ka file, you will be some file. You will see some file. Chrome driver Win64, you will see some file in your downloads folder. Okay, right click and you will have an option extract. Right click and you will have an option extract. Extract all, extract here, whatever option you have, extract option. Just extract that file. Just extract that file. You should get a folder, Chrome driver folder రావాలి ఒకటి. You should get a Chrome driver folder if you extract that file. Got it, everyone? So once you got the Chrome driver folder, go into the folder. Folder के अंदर जाओ. You should be seeing three files. First one is a Chrome driver file. Second one is license file. Third one is third party file. दिख रहा है? First one is Chrome driver file. Second one is license file. Third one is third party file. You should be getting three files. Copy the Chrome driver file. Chrome driver file को copy कर लो. Copy it. Copy the Chrome driver file. For the Chrome driver file, click and do copy. Control C. Control C करो. After doing Control C, go back to IntelliJ. IntelliJ पे चले जाओ. Go back to your IntelliJ. So everyone downloaded, extracted and copied? Anyone pending? Okay na? Downloaded everyone? Extraction and copying also done? After copying, go back to your NIT project. NIT project में जाके right click and say open in Explorer. Right click on your NIT project and say open in Explorer. Right click on your NIT project. After copying from there, right click on your NIT project and say open in Explorer. Okay, you should be getting Explorer like this. If you click on Explorer, this is how you should be getting your NIT project. Go inside the NIT project. NIT project के अंदर चले जाओ. You should be seeing dot idea, manual testing, SRC, target. All these folders should be visible if you go inside. Paste it here. यहाँ पे paste कर लो. Just simply paste it there. Directly inside the project, along with SRC, manual testing folders, paste it there. उनके साथ paste कर दो. हाँ, ओपन इन एक्सप्लोरर. अंदर जाओ, प्रोजेक्ट के अंदर जाके एसआरसी टेस्ट उनके साथ कॉपी पेस्ट कर दो वहां पे. हाँ, जाओ ना, उसके अंदर जाने के लिए बोला था ना. हाँ, पेस्ट कर दो यहाँ पे. So if you have pasted it, okay, do the same thing even with your practice project also. Do the same thing. Paste the same file even in your practice project also. Because even in your practice project, your Selenium driver, Chrome driver should open. So do the same thing even in your practice project as well. So your Chrome driver.exe file should be present along with manual src target .idea these folders. Paste it even in your dummy project as well. So if you have pasted it properly, okay, if you have pasted it properly, in your project you should be able to see it just above pom.xml file like this. Just above pom.xml file, your Chrome driver.exe should be visible if you have copy pasted properly. If you have copy pasted properly, you should be able to see it along with your Chrome driver.exe. So now your Selenium setup is complete. Now, to verify if your Selenium setup is complete or not, what we are going to do is, I'll send you a small program now. System.setProperty. Here we need to give the path for our Selenium WebDriver or our Chrome driver. Okay? System.setProperty accepts. It accepts two parameters. First parameter, WebDriver dot Chrome dot driver, which has to be given for your Chrome driver. You'll have to write it mandatorily for your Chrome driver. And the second path is the path where your Chrome driver is present in your project. Let me push this code. Hold on a minute. Take a pull, everyone. You'll get here a Selenium package, and inside the Selenium package there will be a sample file also. हाँ? डमी प्रोजेक्ट में भी करो, दोनों में करना है. Done, everyone? Did you take a pull and open the file? Done? No. In your sample Java file, what you are going to do is right click on your Chrome driver.exe. Right click karo. Right click on your Chrome driver.exe. You'll get an option called as copy path/reference. Click on that. What is the first option that you are getting? Chrome driver.exe. Copy path/reference and you'll get absolute path as the first option. Click on absolute path and in your sample Selenium sample file, line number 7 mein paste that path here. Do Control V. Just click on absolute path. It will only copy automatically. Just click on absolute path, and after clicking on absolute path, Copy path/reference, then you will get absolute path. Click on absolute path, automatically the path will be copied, and in line number 7, the second parameter, along with webdriver.chrome.driver, in the second parameter, paste your path there. And now right click and run your program. After you have copy pasted it, right click and run your program. There should not be any errors in the program. Right click and run your program. Tell me what is happening on your screen after you run the program. What is happening on the screen? Huh? What is going on your screen after you copy paste and run? What is happening? Exactly. If you run, you should get a screen like this. Automatically a Chrome browser should open on the screen like this. And you will get a small disclaimer at the top. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. This is how you can automatically open your Chrome driver. This is called as Chrome driver, not your Chrome browser. Okay? This is how you will start doing your automation. Now what did we do here? Asalu, what is the process that we have followed so far? What process happened here? What is it that we are doing here? Simple. The process that we have done here is, first thing, our project does not have Selenium support. So we have got the Selenium support for our project. By doing what? By downloading the classes using pom.xml file. And after that, what did we do? We downloaded a driver from the internet. Driver version matches what version? Browser version. Driver version and browser version should be same. So we have downloaded a driver from the internet which matches our browser version, and we have pasted the driver in our project. And what are we doing? We are telling our Selenium program key. This is the path. At line number 7, we are telling this is the path where my Chrome driver is present. Go to that path and refer to that path. That is what I am telling my Selenium program. And this Chrome driver is automatically going to open my Chrome driver on my screen. That is what I am doing so far. That is what I have done with my program. If this is working all right, your Selenium setup is completed. You are ready for executing your Selenium programs. Simple. Your Selenium setup is ready. And if I right click and say run, automatically this empty browser should open on the screen. If this empty browser is opening, then you have done everything correctly. Keep in mind that the empty browser cannot be opened randomly. It will open only via program. You cannot normally open the empty browser. अगर तुम exe file पे click करेगा, you will click on the exe file. This will not open. This will open only when you execute it via program. Program నుంచే open అవుతుంది ఇది. Normal open అవ్వదు ఇది నీకు. Okay, you right click and say open on the exe file. Chrome driver exe file को open करेगा तो you will right click or you will do double click. It will not open. It will not do anything unless you run the program. It will not open up anything on your screen. So if the empty Chrome browser is opening, you have done this setup properly, everything is fine on your machine, you are ready with your Selenium topics. You can start learning Selenium now. So you are expected to repeat the same process even in your dummy project also, so that you can practice even in your dummy project. So we are done with today's session, but is there anyone who did not set this up? Is there anyone who is not getting the empty browser? If you are getting the empty browser, you can leave the session. We are done. You can leave the session, no problem. Huh? राइट क्लिक करके एग्जीक्यूट करना, राइट क्लिक करके रन कर, देख अरे क्लास के अंदर क्लास लेके मेरी माँ तूने। अब आएगा रन। तुमने क्लास के अंदर एक और क्लास किया है। I should be able to see the code, otherwise I cannot help you. అవును, ఉండదు. సెలీనియం జేడీకేలో ఇన్బిల్ట్ రాదు నీకు. అది రాదు. నువ్వు మేబీ మేవెన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ అది డిఫరెంట్ ఉండుండొచ్చు, ఎందుకంటే జేడీకే సపోర్ట్ చేయదు నీకు. ఆ మేవెన్ ప్రాజెక్ట్ చూస్తే చెప్పగలుగుతాం మనం ఏంటనేది. సాయి, అజయ్, యూ డిడ్ నాట్ అప్డేట్ యువర్ pom.xml ఫైల్, అందుకే అట్లా వస్తుంది. అప్డేట్ యువర్ pom.xml ఫైల్ అండ్ యూ విల్ గెట్ ఇట్ నార్మల్లీ. उसको क्यों एग्जीक्यूट कर रहे हो? रन कर, अब हो गया. होल्ड ऑन होल्ड ऑन होल्ड ऑन होल्ड ऑन होल्ड ऑन. रुक जाओ रुक जाओ रुक जाओ रुक जाओ रुक जाओ रुक जाओ. एग्जीक्यूट होने दो, उसको एग्जीक्यूट होने दो. फिर से एग्जीक्यूट करो. हाँ? कौन से फाइल? हाँ, आपने पुश किया है? तो पुश नहीं किया तो नहीं आएगा ना, आपको पुश करना पड़ेगा. हाँ, आपने पुश नहीं किया है वो. हाँ, पुश करना पड़ेगा ना आपको. आप पुश करोगे तो मैं देख के अप्रूव करूंगा आपका कोड. आ रहा है ना? एक्सपेंड करके देखो, उसमें आ रहा है ना? ఏంది ఇక్కడ ఉందిగా ఇదిగా. చేసుకోవచ్చు, అట్లా కూడా చేసుకోవచ్చు. అది ఇంకా అప్పుడే రాదు మీకు, మెల్లి వస్తుంది అది. అవుతుంది కానీ అట్లా ఇట్లా రాదు, అది వేరే సెటప్ ఉంటుంది దానికి. అది నేను మెల్లిగా చెప్తా, ఇప్పుడు చెప్పను అది. ఇప్పుడు చెప్పను అది, మెల్లిగా చెప్తా. స్ట్రింగ్ క్యాపిటల్ ఎస్ బదులు స్మాల్ ఎస్ పెట్టుకున్నావు, చెక్ చేసుకో. అయిపోయింది, వస్తున్నా. క్యాపిటల్ ఎస్ బదులు స్మాల్ ఎస్ స్ట్రింగ్, చెక్ చేసుకోవాలి. చెక్ ఇట్ అవుట్. Right, we'll meet in tomorrow's session.